What's happening YouTube? My name is Ryan and today on Tricrow Studios we're going to be installing the Nazgul and Sentient on this Jackson Randy Rhoads RRXT7. There's a 24 in there. Okay, so the first thing that you want to do, other than taking off the control plate or the plate on the back, which, just a quick note to Jackson, if for some reason you're watching this, that was very hard to do. This was a very, very tight fit. Would have been nice to have a little bit more room. I had to get 3 different knives to actually get something that was thin enough to get it in and pry it out. So let's go ahead, and what we want to do here is identify what we're working with. So the first thing that we want to do, even though I know from playing, is I have a volume and a volume and a tone potentiometer. Now, if you're not quite sure, what you want to do is look to see if there's a capacitor. So right here, there's a capacitor. That is for the tone pot. So we have volume, volume, tone, and then here I have a 3-way switch. Now for this example, because I thought that the Nazgul and Sentient actually came with all of the capacitors, they do not. So I'm actually going to use the existing, for the simple fact that budgetary-wise, when you buy new pickups, 3 sets of tuners, a bridge, and a plate that may or may not work for this guitar, and you're kind of planning on getting 5 new guitars, you kind of slim down on your budget. So I'm going to reuse these capacitors, and then what I'm going to do is I'll probably do a little more research and see what capacitors, or sorry, what potentiometers are going to be the best for this, and then obviously which capacitor for the tone pot. Not quite sure I was calling the potentiometers capacitors. And then from there, I don't know what I'm going to do with the switch. Okay, next thing you want to do is actually remove the knobs, the control knobs here. Now, a lot of the times when you're seeing these dome style knobs, you are going to see like a little spot where you can insert like a little key or something where you can actually unscrew them. Those are the really good kind. However, upon in further inspection, these do not have them. So these I can just pull right off, which is very handy. But sometimes in the long run, it doesn't really work out. So just for my convenience, and the fact that I don't know how to solder that well, I'm not very confident in the way that I solder, I need a little more access. So I'm actually going to use this little tool here. It's kind of a multi-fit, it has the most common sizes that I'm going to need, and I'm going to loosen these. It's probably smart if I grab some sort of container here. So let's put everything aside and all in one spot. Now, because I'm not messing with the 3-way switch, I'm not going to touch that. Next up, we want to take the pickups out. So, unscrew them, unscrew everything. Okay, so after you've done that, or before you actually do that, make sure that you're not putting too much pressure down when you're unscrewing, and try and hold it while you're doing it. I mean, I didn't ship the guitar or anything like that or scratch it, but if you're putting too much pressure on it, it may slip and gouge the guitar. All right, so we have our neck pickup and then our bridge pickup. And then this right here is for the output jack, which is way up there. Okay, so to simplify this, and because I know that I'm not going to be using these pickups, I don't even think I'm going to sell them. There's not really a point. Who's going to want to buy these pickups and put them in a guitar? I mean, they're all right pickups, but not the greatest. So what I want to do here, make note of the fact that the bridge pickup is green wire, and the neck pickup is a red wire. May or may not have been able to see that, but I'm actually going to snip them. There we go. So ladies and gentlemen, we've reached the point of no return. There's the pickup cavities. Everything is cut. Going to slide that through. And I gotta be very, very careful that we don't cut this wire. Now that we have the potentiometers unscrewed or what have you, or loosened, and we've removed the pickups, which again, here they are. And we remembered that the green wire was for the bridge and the red wire was for the neck. You can actually pull those cables out. So, bridge, neck. And basically what we want to do now is kind of take everything out. Don't pull really hard on anything, just because you don't want to damage anything. What we want to do is actually trace the wires and kind of see what's going on. I can basically identify that this was the bridge volume and this was the neck volume. And looking here, where we had two wires coming out, so the white actually went to the lug on the potentiometer, and the black went onto the top, so the back of the potentiometer. That is for a ground. So, now that I know what's going on, and what went to where, now's the time where I'm actually going to bring this out. And basically you want to double check that your wiring diagram kind of matches what you have. So it's at this point that we're actually going to take out the new pickups. And I'll take the covers out. I'm also not sure if I'm going to use these covers, for the simple fact that it was a raised cover for the bridge pickup, so maybe just for the bridge. I'm not quite sure yet. But we have the new pickup here. So this is the Nazgul, so the bridge pickup. And basically what we want to do is look and see what wires we have. And then match them up to the diagram. So very easily, this shows for a three-way toggle. So that is, even though I have a three-way blade switch, that's what I'm going to use. So I know that the red and the white wires here aren't going to be used. So when I open this up, take the shielding and everything off, then I know that the red and the white cables will get soldered together, and then I'll use a little bit of electrical tape and tape them together. From there, we want to take shows the green and the bare, and solder that to the top of the potentiometer. And then the black cable gets soldered to the lug. And then it's the same thing for the neck. So in this instance, it doesn't look like I'm going to actually have to resolder certain points. I'm only going to have to solder the red and the white together and tape it, and then solder to the back of the potentiometer and then to the lug. And that's it for all of them. One thing I do have to look for is whether there's a ground wire. Let's see here, a ground wire that goes from the tone pot to the bridge. Okay, so what I did in the back was I actually snipped off all of the previous connections, so the 2 wires that were for each pickup. And now it is time to actually fit these through. So again, you're going to want to look on the back of the pickup, and you want to make sure that it's the neck pickup, so that says Sentient and neck. And then what I do, this is just me, I've barely ever done pickups, but I actually twist all of the ends together, and then you look, there's a hole, and you feed it through the hole, and I pull it all the way through. And you want to make sure it's the right way. So we're going to go with that's all right for right now. And then again, you take this and feed it through here. You may have to twist again, because if it banged up against anything. There you go. Just feed that through. Okay, that's fed through. And we want to take the bridge. So again, you start with the neck and then do the bridge. And one thing that's very smart to do as well is to, when you feed the neck pickup through, put a little bit of tape on the other side of it. That way, like after it's fed through, before you feed the bridge, just wrap a little bit of tape on it. That way, because these are the same color, right? The other one was, it was green and red, so you could color code and tell which one was which. But with these, you know, they're the same color, you might kind of forget which one is which. If that happens, not a big deal. You just tug on it and see which one catches on to what, and then go from there. But we're gonna make sure that we put a piece of tape on it, and it makes it easier. So let's feed the bridge through. Okay, sometimes it takes a little bit of maneuvering, but we have it through. So at this point, all you gotta do is put the covers on, or the pickup rings, sorry, not the covers, and see if they're gonna work out. Because sometimes they just don't. I'm going to try it this way without using the original, like the raised cover. And if there's something wrong with it, then I'll just change it. I'll just take the strings off and change it again. Now, I do have tuners coming, so I could, you know, see how this works out and then change it if needed when the my Spurzels come. But for now, we're basically done. We gotta, you know, screw these on, get everything set up, and then we're gonna be looking at unsoldering and resoldering.